Our safe management measures have protected us well throughout the pandemic. We've adapted them to the changing situation and gradually eased them as things stabilize. With our situation stabilizing, we will reduce the mask requirements further to prevent people from getting tired. We will only require masks on public transport where people are in prolonged close contact in a crowded space, and in healthcare settings like clinics, hospitals, and residential and nursing homes where there are vulnerable persons. Everywhere else, outdoors or indoors, masks will be optional. For schools in particular, we should not need masks in class. The children do need to be able to see the facial expressions of their teachers and of each other. You have to learn to read faces. Is he angry? Is he happy? Did he say ter or der? Ker or ger? Otherwise, you grow up with a blank space in your brain. It's crucial for their learning and development. But please don't take your masks off this very moment. Please wait for the detailed announcement from the MTF. The government will repeal Section 377A and decriminalize sex between men. I believe this is the right thing to do and something that most Singaporeans will now accept. But at the same time, most Singaporeans do not want the repeal to trigger a drastic shift in our societal norms across the board, including how we define marriage, what we teach children in schools, what's shown on free-to-air television and in cinemas, or what is generally acceptable conduct in public. We will therefore protect the definition of marriage from being challenged constitutionally in the courts. The legal definition is contained in the Interpretation Act and the Women's Charter. We have to amend the Constitution to protect it, and we will do so. This will help us to repeal Section 377A in a controlled and carefully considered way. The war in Ukraine affects security in the Asia-Pacific. It has complicated the already strained US-China relations, and also relations between China and America's partners in Asia, like Australia and Japan. We can expect more geopolitical contestation in the Asia-Pacific. Our region has enjoyed peace for so long that it's hard for us to imagine things being different. But look at how things have gone wrong in Europe. How suddenly and quickly. And can you be sure that things cannot go wrong like that in our region too? So we must get real, and we must get ourselves prepared psychologically. Top of everyone's minds is the cost of living. Even before the war, inflation was already becoming a problem because COVID-19 had disrupted supply chains, and it had also caused developed countries, especially the US, to implement huge spending packages, stoking inflation, which spread internationally. We don't have much influence over this global inflation picture, but what is within our power is to make ourselves more productive and more competitive, because then our workers can earn more and can more than make up for the higher prices of food, of fuel, and of other imports. Singapore has attracted the interest of many talented people and international companies. Those with special talents and skills are looking for places to move to where they and their families feel safe and welcome, and where they can make an impact. We must seize this opportunity to secure Singapore's place in the post-COVID world. This is Paya Lebar Air Base, down here, and the runway is the dominant feature, which stretches from one end to the other, 3.8 kilometers long. It's a line along the direction of the prevailing winds, to avoid crosswinds when aircraft take off and land. So the future town can be also aligned along the same axis, parallel to the runway, and then the town will be naturally breezy. And it's not just about using the land physically occupied by the airbase. Because once the airbase moves out, we can lift some of the building height restrictions around it. It won't happen overnight, but over decades, we can completely reimagine the eastern part of Singapore. Tuas Port is now up and running. The first 2 berths started operations last December. In the process of moving to Tuas, we modernized and upgraded our port operations. When it's fully completed, about 20 years from now, Tuas Port will handle 65 million TEUs annually, almost double today's volumes. In the same way, Changi Airport secures Singapore's position as a global aviation hub. This is T5. So T1, 2, 3, and 4. T5 is as big as all of these put together. We redesigned T5 to be more resilient, in particular to operate more safely and flexibly during a pandemic. T5 will be a place that all Singaporeans can take pride in and enjoy.